Hi, and welcome to the weekly general reading for April 1st, 2019. So this is a timeless reading. What we're going to be doing is looking just at the next 7 days ahead and what to expect. Okay, this is a general reading, so we're not focusing on any specific topic, but anything can come out. So, you know, one pile might have a lot of information about career and work, and another might have a lot of information about romance and relationships and that kind of thing. But basically what we're doing is we're just looking at general energies, dynamics, what to expect, okay? I put these out every Monday, and you know, again, you can watch them at any time. Just know it's applicable for the next 7 days. That said, let's go ahead and name the piles. Pile number 1 is the purple butterfly. Pile number 2 is the orange butterfly. Pile number 3 is the blue butterfly. Pile number 4 is the pink butterfly. Pile number 5 is the red butterfly. And pile number 6 is the green butterfly. So while you guys are making your pick, I wanted to let you guys know, of course, what I post publicly as free readings, they're all general. If you would like to get in depth with me and look at particulars in your particular situation, go ahead and look at the information below in the description. That's where you can find my contact information, how to order a reading with me. I have all sorts of different price points, and also the timestamps will be down there too. All right, guys, that said, let's go ahead and get started with pile number 1. Now, if you haven't picked your pile, just go ahead and pause the video and pick, and then you can resume when you're ready. All right. So as always, I'm moving these piles aside so that they won't get in our way. Right, pile number 1. Here is your reading. For your tarot, we have the 5 of Swords, we have the Empress, and we have the 4 of Cups in reverse. Okay, we also have the Wreath, the Star, and the Whale, and we have Tell the Truth. Okay. So in this particular situation, what we've got, starting with the tarot, is that we've got, this card, you know, can stand for defeat because we've got the 2 in the background, or it can stand for success. But either way, it's like the person who's in the successful position is not handling their success well. They're like a poor winner, right? And you've got the clouds here. So regardless of which side you're on, you've got this kind of cloudy-headed feeling. This feeling like you're not thinking very clearly, okay? I feel like for most of you guys, it's going to be a success that might go a little bit to your head. Nothing wrong with that. Just know that when you're talking about it, it can kind of make other people feel bad. So be very sensitive about whatever you're talking about. Something you've been successful, it's totally fine to celebrate that. Absolutely. But it's just, you know, I'm just getting that for my viewers, most of you guys, this means that, you know, you might, you know, you might be talking about something that's like really nice that's happened to you, and it might make somebody feel bad or jealous or something like that. So as long as you know, as long as you're representing yourself and, you know, and being aware of that, that's on them, right? Okay, so we've got the 4 of Cups in reverse. This is letting me know that something that you haven't been interested in lately is gonna start to get your interest again. And this is something that I would say is like something you used to be interested in, or some kind of activity you used to do. You're all of a sudden going to be like, ooh, I want to get back to doing that. I know that in both hemispheres, the weather's changing. So it might be that because of the climate, you're able to do things that you know, now that you weren't able to do, let's say a month ago, because the weather's changing. It could be that. But it's basically like the way that I think about it is like I go through these different phases where I'm really interested in different things. And one of the phases that I've been through, for example, in the past, and I'm just telling you, it's going to sound weird, but one of the phases I go through is that I've been really, really interested in plague. Okay, I'm talking about Yersinia pestis, those of you who are scientific minded and all of that. And maybe I haven't been reading as many books about plague lately. Well, this would look like me suddenly being like, ooh, you know what? I want to read more about plague, you know? And so I'll like look for medical books, or I'll look for, you know, different kinds of accounts of people who've had plague in the past, right? And then we've got the Empress. We've got overabundance of things. This is your major card. You've got a major arcana, the Empress. This is letting you know that you're going to be, I mean, again, you're going to be successful. You're going to be you're going to have a lot of things. For some of you, this might even be a windfall of money or something like that. I think for most of you guys, it's just you're going to be feeling like you're kind of sitting pretty, if that makes sense. Maybe not in all areas, but at least in one area, you're going to feel really blessed, okay? So keep that in mind as well. Oh, for some of you, and I'm not a doctor, I cannot diagnose pregnancy, but for some of you, you might conceive this week or find out that you're pregnant this week, okay? All right, so we've got the star here, which you know, made me think the most about the success thing, is we've got guaranteed success this week. So now I'm not going to say that every single thing you do, you're going to be guaranteed to be successful in it, but just know that you've kind of got luck on your side, and there is some kind of event that's going to take place this week where you're going to be really successful, but it's like a big thing. It's not a small thing. Okay. So keep that in mind. We have the whale. This is like, okay, you know how they talk about making mountains and, like, don't make mountains out of molehills? For those of you who know, like, little molehills, they're really small, you know? It's like the same thing because whales are so huge. It's like a lot of worrying over nothing, okay? Or a lot of worrying, like, making something into a bigger deal than it is. If there's something that is going on in the back of your mind, kind of pestering you, like, ooh, it's like, did I do something wrong there or whatever? Just know that you have more of a problem with whatever it is that you're worried about than the actual problem is, okay? So keep that in mind. And then we have sorrow over a loss. I do think that there is going to be something, you know, you're going to succeed, so you're going to replace something, you know, that was a deficit with whatever it is that you're succeeding in. So whatever that deficit is, you know, whatever that thing that you're kind of pushing out of your life to allow for that success, that might be something that's like uncomfortable for you. And if so, just know that it's totally okay and normal to grieve the loss of something, even if it's something that's not that great in your life. You know, it's a change. So that's what that is. This is kind of like your advice. Tell the truth. Okay, now, first off, I think that this card is less about being honest literally and more about being authentic, right? I think that what this is about you really embracing who you are this week and making certain that what you're saying is aligning with your morals, okay? That's a big deal. Also, it could be literal for some of you. I am getting that for maybe 15% of you, it's about, like, is there something that's been a deception that you need to get off of your chest? And if so, go ahead and express that, because that's like so much more healthy for you and anybody else who's involved than keeping it inside, okay? And I feel like if you do it now would be a good time to do it. Otherwise, if you let it go even like for longer, you know, either you're gonna have to just keep that secret or just keep that to yourself, or it's gonna come back to bite you, right? So whatever it is, make sure that you're being honest about it, you know? So, looks like a really eventful week and looks like a really happy week, you know, with the success and all of that kind of good stuff. All right, pile 2, those of you who picked the orange butterfly, we have, wow, guys, we have the 9 of Cups, the World, and the Moon. Okay, your advice card is just laugh. We have the Bull, okay. And we have the Angel, okay, and we have the Caterpillar. Okay, so we're talking about something that's about to change, okay? And I feel like you're ready for it, so I feel like you know that this is going to change, okay? And it affects you emotionally more than it affects any other area of your life. So this might be something that has more to do with, like, feeling emotionally secure, feeling emotionally fulfilled, you know, feeling loved, you know, that kind of thing. So that would be the kind of topic that's going to be your focus this week. We have the World and we've got the Bull here. And the Bull represents kind of like a cornucopia. For those of you who know the story, it's kind of like a Dagda's cauldron. it's like the world is like you have everything that you were setting out to get, right? So like this week also you might get to that point where it's like the point of culmination where you're finally receiving what you've been working on so hard, right? And again, we've got the Nine of Cups showing us that you're prepared for it. Like, you know this is going to happen, or you know something like that's going to happen. But then we also have the moon, and the moon is talking about the moon talks about usually about things that are hidden, but it can also talk about intuition and like mysteries, right? Mysteries in general. And we've got spiritual guidance and protection from harm here with the angel. So I do think that there's a little bit more on the intuitive side than on something's being hidden, okay? For those of you who it does, the something's being hidden does apply, it's going to be on your end, not on somebody else's end. I mean, it could be that, yeah, people are hiding things from you, but that's not what the reading's about. The reading's about you this week as far as the moon goes. So this is going to reflect something that's being hidden that you're hiding yourself, okay? But I think that for most of you, the moon is talking about that kind of intuition kind of kicking up, that kind of thing. And then we have things will not always be this way. A change is coming. You know that, though, with this being prepared for like that end result. And if you have no idea what I'm talking about, when it happens, you'll be like, oh yeah, it was like I knew that was coming, or I was hoping that was what was coming, because this also again has to do with emotional fulfillment. So it might be for some of you guys, if you're like me and you're like, oh no, that's never gonna happen, you know, I'd love that to happen, but it's never gonna happen, you know, it would be a happy surprise and be like, wow, you know, this is possible, that's great, you know. But it looks so smooth and so positive this week. And then we've got the just laugh card, you know. I'm not seeing anything in the other cards or feeling in the energy that this is a situation where you're kind of down and it's like, you know, hey, lighten up, you know, that kind of thing. I don't feel like that's what the cards are saying. I actually think that as simple as it sounds and as simple as it can be, and almost even irritating for those of us who want to take things very seriously and do not want to, like, no laughing, no smiling, no nothing, everything serious. I think that somebody in your life is going to be going through some times and they just need to laugh. They just need like some kind of resource or whatever that's going to make them laugh. And maybe you'll find a website, maybe you'll find a joke book, you know, or something like that. Just know that bringing laughter to the world this week for you guys is going to be a really positive thing. And that's kind of like your like, oh, heads up, that's something you can do to help people feel better. Okay. So, but do understand there's some of us that is like, this is not a laughing matter. And if you meet somebody who's like a grouchy person like me, then just keep walking. Just be like, whatever, I'm trying to help, you know, that kind of thing. Cause I mean, seriously, we know that that's what you're trying to do. It's just, we're just stuck in our ways and we just want to be like dumb. Okay. So again, you know, kind of embrace that happiness, that laughter. And those of you who are like me, and are probably thinking like, why would I do that to somebody? You know, hey, don't do it if you don't want to. It's just, this is what they're telling you to do. Alrighty, guys. So yeah, this looks like a positive week for you guys. All right, those of you who picked the I'm sorry, that's not orange, it's blue. Those of you who picked the blue butterfly, here is your reading for the week. We have the Seven of Cups, the Ace of Swords, and the Star. Okay, so this kind of energy has actually come up in the last two piles as well. I think that's kind of interesting. It's just come up in a different way. And yes, it's nuanced to each pile, but it's just really interesting. I wonder if that's going to keep having. Okay, so we've got the quill, we have the archway, and we have the pig. And then we have give more. Alrighty. So yeah, this is a really interesting, I really like this spread here. I like the energy of this. It's really nice. This is because it's all about simplifying your life a little bit more. You know, getting back to the basics with the quill, you know, that's the traditional meaning, but it can also talk about how you need to write and you need to like kind of purge something. So I would say if you have been kind of holding on to something, the pig represents greed. Like if you've been holding on to something that you need to just express, you need to just get rid of, you need to just purge. It might even be a material It might even be something like, I don't know, maybe you need to clean out your shoes, or your closet in general, or your garage if you're like my partner and he just won't get rid of anything. It might just be about, you know, hey, just clean out, just clean. But for some of you guys, the quill is going to be talking about actually writing it out, you know, just purging it out, making it more of a metaphor, because it's not always going to be in the physical realm for every single person that's watching here. The archway, yeah, this is just about things opening up before you. You're going to be able to get some direction. You're going to be able to see where you're supposed to go. And some of you guys will even find that you have multiple options. Don't let it overwhelm you. We've got the star here. The star is going to give you direction. You're going to know which way is the best way. Now, I don't usually say this very often in readings, but we've got the Ace of Swords coming out, and given the energy that we're getting right here and the energy here, which I'm about to talk about, we've got the star and the Ace of Swords. The Ace of Swords in this particular spread is saying, try to go with your head at this point, okay? Now, there are so many situations, you know, and I even feel kind of weird as a person, like as a person morally, and then as a reader even, saying, you know, don't follow your heart, don't pay attention to your intuition, that kind of thing. Sometimes you do have to make those decisions with your head. You've got to weigh the pros and cons, and to make that decision. Now, what this might actually mean also, I do want to say, is that you're just supposed to think through it, weigh the pros and cons, and then go with your heart anyway, you know? But this is just letting you know, hey, this new stuff, you know, use your head in it, you know, when you're trying to figure out which way to go, okay? If you have no idea what I'm talking about, there's something that's supposed to open up for you, okay? Some kind of new path, some kind of new opportunity. And we have that with this card as well. This card's all about picking from a bunch of different options. Some of the options are positive, some of them are negative. At least that's the way it's depicted in the Rider-Waite Tarot. And some, they're all positive, you know, and some, they're all negative. But basically, the idea is that you've got a lot of options. You've got a lot of like different ways that you can go. And I even think that this might be applicable to not just one area of your life, okay? And it's just, you've just got to decide. You've got to simplify, get back to the basics. You've got to simplify by making a decision and just pushing the other stuff away. And the star is going to help you get that, all right? Now, we also have, this is kind of like your advice for the week. So it's not necessarily supposed to be predictive. It's supposed to be like, this is your best course of action. We have give more. So part of that for me is like, okay, well, maybe if you're holding on to things you need to clean out your closet, maybe you should give them away, like give away some old clothes that you're not going to wear anymore or whatever. But this could also just be, you know, giving more of yourself. And it might even not be like, yeah, just completely deplete your energy, you know, kind of thing. But it's more like, be authentic, give more of what you have to give to the world. It's kind of like that. Like, the world needs you. It's kind of like a call to action like that, more than it's like, hey, wear yourself out even more this week than you usually do. It's not like that. It's like the world needs you right now. It needs you to be yourself, and it needs you to just give the world the gift that you exist, because nobody else can be you the way you can. And so I feel like it's a really positive message, not so much of a like deplete your resources message, okay? So yeah, this looks really, really positive. Like I said, when I first looked at it, I like this spread. I would be very happy if this was my week. I actually picked the red one, so we'll see. So yeah, you're gonna be fine. Gonna have a good week. All right, those of you who picked the pink butterfly. Oh goodness, see, like some of these readings just are so clear what they're about. We've got the Lovers, and we have the Six of Cups, and we have Temperance. And I kind of feel like I need to put Temperance next to the Lovers here. Okay, we've got Hammock. We have Bag. We have Eagle. And we have Seeing the Light. Okay, some of you guys, not all of you, but some of you guys, I would say at least 40% of my viewers that pick this pile, you've been having a lot of obstacles in love. Things just keep getting in the way, and it's like, it almost seems like the universe is purposefully trying to keep you from making this thing happen. okay, are purposely trying to keep the two of you apart. That's not what's going on at all. What's actually going on is that those obstacles were happening because it wasn't the right time. And now it's the right time for love in your life right now, okay? And those of you who this applies to, you'll know because your person's going to be getting a hold of you this week. Your person's going to be coming together to you. You're going to be able to see the light with that. This person, somebody you already know. For some of you, it might be an ex, but I really feel like this is somebody you already know. Okay, so that's a message for many of my viewers. Now let's just kind of go back, kind of clear the slate and say, okay, well, what's the overarching message? Okay, and this will also apply to that 40% as well. So we're getting back to we're getting balanced. Things are feeling more natural in our love life. You know, in the love life of my viewers this week, things should go very smoothly. It should feel very natural. It should feel like everything just working out, and you'll be experiencing a lot of nostalgia this week. It might be like an anniversary for some of you, or it might be, you know, maybe somebody's birthday, because it's like looking back, but it's not, it's like aimed at something. It's not just general, like you'll have a memory this week. It's not like that. It's more like you're looking back at something specific. Some of you guys, you know, again, it might be an ex, it might even be like a sibling that you're connecting with more than you usually do. That kind of thing. So kind of keep that in mind. I feel that these two are connected though. It could be that you're getting a hold of a sibling from somebody that you're interested in. But I mean, the Lovers has a bigger presence than the Six of Cups in this particular situation. So I do want to say this is a focus because we've got this coming out first. And it's a major arcana card, okay? Temperance is also a big deal, though. And also, when we get 2 major arcana cards, or 3 even, it's going to be a big week, okay? So this is going to be a good, big week for you, okay? So we've got something important going on. We've got, this sometimes can refer to a job or a raise, you know, because we've got the bag, and it's like a money bag. I actually think that the bag is representing abundance, okay? Excuse me. So the bag is more representing for you guys that you're going to be feeling like you have a lot, you know? You're going to be feeling like you are kind of like on top of things. It's kind of, this particular card has a similar energy of the reading of pile number 1. Just want to mention that. But yeah, it feels like you guys are going to it feels like you're sitting in a good position, all right? The hammock here, some of you guys might be taking a vacation or planning a vacation, but it's like there's something that you don't have to worry about anymore. It could be obviously this, but it's like you're not worrying as much, but like there's a physical thing that comes with that. It's like you're not as physically tense from that, okay? Because when we've got the hammock, we've got the suspension and all of that, and it's like supposed to be relaxing. Some people get really terrified on hammocks. I'm just thinking about my cat. I don't understand what's wrong with it, but it hates hammocks. but yeah, sometimes you know, I get that. But this is supposed to be more like a cocoon. It's supposed to be more relaxing and feel safe and secure. And I think that goes with the bag. It also goes with the Lovers, and also goes with balancing out with the Temperance card. And again, the eagle. We already talked about this, triumph over obstacles and material. You know, you get this eagle that's like able to fly over anything. You know, it doesn't even have to avoid things. That's just the way it is. It flies, and that's it. So yeah, the eagle doesn't have obstacles, you know, the way that we have to, you know, deal with obstacles. At least, you know, it's not only a metaphor, but it's also literally, you know, with that. So that's what I was talking about for that, you know, when I was talking at the very beginning. That, you know, for some of you, it's just going to be like, oh, everything's finally coming together. Thank goodness, you know? So we have to see the light. I really think that right now, you're also being called. This is your guidance card. This isn't, it's supposed to be like, prophetic. Okay. It's supposed to be like, this is what you can do this week. That's going to be the best thing to like work with this energy. And we're saying, see the light. So it's like really, really get into that energy of like, gosh, I'm so thankful for what I have. I think you're kind of going to be there anyway, but this is just encouraging you to really think about what you have. Think about what you have compared to other people, like across the planet, and think about how lucky you are that you're able to enjoy what you can enjoy that so many people don't even get, right? And so it feels very like, you know, between the Six of Cups and this energy, it actually feels kind of like innocent, like the way that a child feels when they get like a simple toy, you know, from the store. I know my kids, sometimes I'll get them something from the store and they're just, that one toy is exactly what they want, and it's like they will spend hours with it, like for months. It's crazy, but that's the kind of feeling I'm getting from it. It's this kind of like childlike wonder, like, wow, the world is so cool, you know, that kind of thing. So yeah, this is a really sweet spread. I love it. You guys are going to be great. All right, guys, those of you who picked the red butterfly, here is your reading. We've got Justice. We've got the Eight of Swords. It's in the reverse. I'll go ahead and put it that way. And the Devil. Okay, we also have the Key. All right, we have the Shield. And we have the Fan. Okay, and then we have Say No. All right, interesting. First off, I just want to say that compared to the other piles, this is very, very different. Some of, like, the piles tend to have, like, some of the same themes. You know, so those of you who pick this, you're just... One thing you might notice, just in general, is that compared to other people this week, you might just be a little out of sync. That's okay, okay? That's okay. What this is calling you to be is like, to just get down to the truth of the matter, try to look at things objectively, and try to figure out, in this situation, you know, whatever situation you're coming into contact with through the week, what is absolutely true and what isn't true, you know? And so right now, I really feel like this week is like, try to scrutinize things, try to be a little bit skeptical. That would be the best way of putting it, okay? You might, well, you probably will deal with some temptation as well. We've got two major arcana cards, so unfortunately this kind of, it feels like a lot of negative energy, and I'm just saying that because that's what I'm getting. We've got Say No. I mean, that's negative. Ugh. But just so you know, I think this will help you guys feel a little bit better. I picked the red one, okay? So, yeah, so I'm in this boat with you. So with the Devil, we're talking about feeling tempted, but I feel like it's a really general feeling. Like, kind of feeling maybe a little lazy, maybe feeling like, oh, screw my diet, I'm just gonna eat whatever, I'm gonna get a big box of donuts, you know, that kind of thing. Be like, you know what, I don't feel like it, I just don't feel like doing that, so I'm just not gonna fulfill my obligations. It feels like that more than it feels like you're being tempted by something that's gonna get you into trouble, like major trouble, okay? The way the Devil can be. Some of you guys might just be Capricorns, and that's why it's coming up. This particular card is associated with Capricorns, okay? But I think that, you know, if we're real honest, you know, just be aware, and don't let yourself slip too much into that indulgent mindset, because I feel like that's where it could go. So just be careful. One thing that's really great is that you're feeling so much more mentally clear this week. The eight of Swords, when it's upright, it's like this almost obsessive thinking where you're attaching to the the most negative possibilities, and that's what's kind of driving you. It's like you're being driven by wanting to protect yourself from the worst case scenario when it's in the upright position. When it's in the reverse position, it's almost like you're finally free from these like very confining thoughts. So this is what you're focusing on as being healing this week, and this is going to help you. This is going to help you deal with, you know, any kind of little small temptation and everything. These are also positive cards, okay? We've got successful outcome to your problems. I feel like, now, and I don't get this for most piles when I'm doing the weekly readings, okay? But I feel like this is letting you know that even if this continues on throughout this week, it's eventually, you're going to be successful. So any kind of problem that's going on that has to do with the Eight of Swords or the Devil, whether it's in, you know, in reverse or upright, understand an answer will present itself. A key is like unlocking a whole different place, you know, for you, okay? So you'll be able to unlock the door and walk straight through it. One thing that's cool also is that you are going to be having a lot of success in romance. We have romance, celebration, and party. You know, for those of you who are introverted, you know, I'm not saying you have to go out and party. What I'm saying is that, you know, this week you're going to be feeling very positive. You know, it's going to feel like there's something worth celebrating in your love life. Okay, so that's great. Just because I was thinking about it, when you get the party combined with the devil, be very careful about substances and substance abuse this week, because that might play into that. And then we have the shield. You need to defend yourself. So, you know, your guard's down because you're thinking clearer, but just because you're thinking more clearly doesn't mean that there isn't anything out there that might hurt you, right? So you've got to just kind of armor up. Be aware that, you know, when you have your defenses down like that, when you're feeling great about your love life and all of that kind of stuff, and you're trying to see just the truth and being, you know, skeptical of things and being like, hey, you know what, I'm trying to do that. You do have to kind of defend yourself from any kind of like, for example, biases. When you're looking at things objectively, you know, there's always going to be that subjective personal bias that you'll have, right? That's the kind of thing that this is talking about, okay? And then say no. I really feel like this is about somebody's going to offer you something, or somebody's going to want to do something with you or whatever. And it's like, you just don't have the energy. And you might think that you do because it'll sound really good. It'll be like, you know what? I would really love to do this, you know, but you're going to be feeling like this devil energy of just like, oh, but I don't want to do things. I don't, you know, and it's like, it's going to cause like a conflict. It would be better if you were to say no to this, but I'm kind of getting from this directive card, this is kind of like your advice card, I'm kind of getting like, you can say yes, but you're going to be really wearing yourself out if you do. So be aware that the trade-off for that might end up being more stressful than the payoff is, right? If you do say yes to some kind of opportunity that seems like a really great opportunity, just make sure that you're weighing all the options and, you know, with the Justice card. I really hope that this was a clear reading for you guys, because I understand it's kind of all over the place, but, you know, what I'm getting is all intuitive. So just please understand that it just feels like the week is going to be just a little bit off. And I mean, like, even just like the reading was kind of off and not really coherent, at least from my perspective. But it's like, you know, tune in next week. Next Monday I'll have a new one, and hopefully this stuff will be all over by then, and you'll have the key to the success with your problems, and you're going to have the best reading of all the groups next week. Okay, guys? We all have bad weeks. It looks like this week's not going to be the best for you guys, but that's okay. That's okay. It makes us stronger. All right, pile number 6. This is what your week is going to be like. All right. Okay. Right. I'm reading these to make sure that I say them. Okay. All right. Here's the deal. We have a situation with you guys where you've got a little bit of positive stuff and you've got a little bit of negative stuff, okay? Now, just for comparison, like the last group was all negative, it felt like, you know? I mean, there were some positive things, but it was mostly negative. So it's like, this isn't the worst thing, okay? Just want to let you know, okay? We've got 2 cards that refer to waiting, okay? The 3 of Wands can talk about like something's taking a long time to happen. It feels like you're stuck maybe, and you're waiting for something. And then we've got this one. It's like, this is about waiting for like a package or a letter. So I feel like some of you guys are like waiting for contact, or you're like longing for something, because sometimes a wait can just depict like there's something far away that you want to come closer to you, okay? And when we have that like that waiting energy combined with this kind of grief card, it's like, I really feel like there's gonna be some heartache this week for you guys, all right? just because you're waiting and just because you might be feeling some grief and sorrow doesn't mean that something's not going to come or that something's not there. It just means the energy this week is going to feel lacking, okay? But here we have the arrow. This is letting you know you're on the right path. You're learning some lessons that are really important for you, and that's, you know, that's what this energy is about. Overall, though, the major arcana card, the big theme here is the Chariot, which is all about moving forward. It's about getting your heart and your head aligned where you're able to move forward with almost like this combined superpower of knowledge, right? Because I know, I'm sure you guys understand what it feels like when your heart isn't in the same place as your head and you're constantly warring with yourself. But it's like things are going to be synced up. You're going to know what you need to do next, okay? And you are on the right path, so that's going to be taken care of, okay? And then we also have, you know, a period of frustration and, again, lessons to be learned. So, I mean, it's not going to be the most fun week, but you are going somewhere. You are moving it forward, okay? Even though it might seem like you're stagnant with this waiting stuff. But you are moving forward because you're learning from the situation, and you'll be a stronger person because of this. We've got spread the light. Sometimes when we can't see any light in our lives, we have to be that light for ourselves and be that light for others. Sometimes going through periods of darkness or periods of negativity, let's say, will make us really hyper aware of those moments where things are really beautiful and where things are illuminated and where you're clear headed and you've got the truth and you know where you're supposed to go and all of that kind of stuff. Sometimes the best thing to do when you're in like the energy of the Five of Cups is to understand that all of us have that Five of Cups energy inside of us, or the potential to feel that Five of Cups energy, right? And by spreading the light inside of you that you still have, because you are you and you're the only person that can be you, we can bring up the vibration of everything around us just by kind of faking it until we feel it, or just trying to be nice to people that might be going through a difficult time, that kind of thing, all right? But again, I feel like you guys are feeling, like even if you're feeling down, I feel like you guys have a lot of power this week as well, you know, as far as what you direct your energy towards. So keep that in mind, you know, you are still coming from a place of power, all right? Yeah. You guys, this is actually very profound for me. I like this reading, even though I don't like the idea that anybody would have to suffer for it. I like the end result there. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching to the end of my video. I do want to let you guys know, if you haven't seen it yet, I have 2 other videos that I uploaded, and you guys might want to check them out. And so just kind of, you know, keep that in mind. And just want to say, you guys, I am so thankful for where my channel's going. I am so thrilled because I have over 15,000 subscribers now. And yes, I still celebrate every single one of them. You guys would think that I am like a kid just sitting there refreshing and being like, oh my gosh, I have now I have more, and now I have even more, you know, that kind of thing. But it's great. And it's not just me. It's not just me. It's my, you know, my coworker, my communications guy, Shannon, is also just as thrilled with where we're going with this, and we both are so happy that there's so many people out there that really value what I'm putting out. And just thank you guys so much for giving me that validation. It lets me know what I'm doing is the right thing, and that you guys are really enjoying things and everything. Keep up the comments, the likes, the subscribes, and all of that kind of stuff. But also let me know if there's something you don't like too. If you don't want to leave it in a comment, you can always email me directly. If you have any suggestions for a pick a card reading, please let me know as well, because I'm happy to include a viewer request. I do have a list of them, and I'm going through them as quickly as possible. That said, thank you guys again, and I will see you tomorrow with our pick a card reading for Tuesday.